Hey everyone and welcome to Storytime. My name is Jake and today we are going to be looking at the subreddit r/maliciouscompliance, where people conform to the letter but not the spirit of a request. In the top right of your screen you'll see a little poll. If you can vote on that, that would be awesome. But for now, let's sit back, relax and enjoy some malicious compliance. But you still have 17 seconds left on your timer. I'm not exactly proud of this one because I can kind of see where the customer came from. But I think those of you who have dealt with condescending customers before can appreciate it for what it was. So, I supervised a mum and pop restaurant for several years that dealt specifically with shrimp and fish. Outside of cleaning and prepping the stuff, the main deal was cooking it in big old fryers. It involved work, but it's not hard work. Just stick the basket of food in the fryer and set a timer for 3 minutes. And when it comes out, just bag it up and give it to the customer. Easy work, though it gets a bit complicated on, let's say, a busy day like Friday, where we do anywhere between $1,000 to $1,300 during the 6-hour shift, or maybe $1,500 to $1,700 if it was really busy. See, that's a normal busy Friday. When it's Lent season, business would boom significantly, like we do $5,000 to $7,000 during the Friday shifts. So yeah, busy. When it's that busy, you can't exactly rely on timers as much, because there's so much food going in and out of the fryers, the temperature fluctuates, so you gotta eyeball it. I'll have food burning at 2.5 minutes, or some food taking up to 4 minutes to look right. So here's where the malicious compliance comes in. During a Lent Friday night dinner rush, we'll get hundreds of people coming into a shop that's probably smaller than a middle-class living room. I'm talking like the waiting area on the other side of the counter was probably 20 foot by 7 foot, so it can get pretty cramped. I have my register person taking orders and making bags, and I was pushing them along the line while my weigh table people can weigh out the food so I can start cooking them. When the order is done, I'll shove it in a bag and yell either the name or the order, and someone in the crowd will come grab it and be on their way. It's a very intimate setup. So, I got a counter full of about 20 plus bags, each with a different order, and this one bag gets to me and it said, "Cook shrimp an extra minute," or something to that effect. Now, like I said, the fryers cook funny when there's that much food going in and out, so using my years of shrimp frying experience, I extrapolate in my head what the food should look like if cooked for that long under normal conditions, and cook it until it looks like that. I pull the food up and hear an ahem from behind me, and I look, and this lady apparently followed her bag down the line, waited for me to drop the food, and set her own timer. She said with a crappy "gotcha" attitude while looking at her own timer, "Yeah, you need to cook that for an extra 45 seconds. At this point, her food was already looking too done, but she interrupted my flow and gave me an attitude. So I blurted out, "Oh, okay," and set a timer for 45 seconds and put it on the counter. I bagged some other people's food and I hear the lady behind me again, apparently with a little less teeth to her words this time. "Oh, I think it's done now." And I grabbed my timer that I had set right in front of her, looked at it, and yelled, with an equally condescending, crappy, "gotcha" attitude, "Oh, but you still have 17 seconds left," and smacked it down and waited until the timer went off. 17 seconds can feel like a long time in those kind of situations. Finally, the timer went off. I grabbed her food, it looked burnt. I bagged it up and gave it to her and said, "Here you go, miss, enjoy the rest of your day." She muttered a "thank you" and walked off, and my co-workers and customers had a little laugh about it. Never got a complaint. Now, don't get me wrong, I get it. As a customer, I can be finicky sometimes too, but the problem was, I was honouring her request, but in a way she didn't understand, because there's a bunch of variables at play that only an experienced fryer cook would get. I feel bad, but at the same time, I don't appreciate anyone giving me an attitude, and I've never been a "customer is always right" kind of person anyways. I agree with the guy kinda here, like customers can say, oh, can you do the shrimps extra crispy or something, but maybe not give an exact value of, oh, put it in for exactly 2 minutes and 37 seconds, or else it's not gonna be perfect. Customer doesn't trust us to fill her whole business card order. Here's a short, simple malicious compliance. I work at a print shop where business cards are produced in a way that happens to leave the customers with a few extra cards in their orders. The cards are boxed in small, business card sized boxes, but because different cards are printed on different paper stocks with varying thicknesses, not all stacks of, say, 500 cards take up the same amount of space in a 500 count box. A customer came in to pick up her order of business cards. She opened the box to inspect them and noticed that there was extra space in the box. She quickly concluded that we must be trying to rip her off. My co-worker, who was taking the payment, attempted to explain that all the cards were there and the box just wasn't a perfect fit. But the customer insisted that my co-worker count the cards in front of her. So, my co-worker suppressed a sigh, counted the cards one by one, and found that there were 520 cards. She apologized for the error and removed the extra 20. Speechless, the customer paid for her cards and left. You really want quadruple pepperoni? Okay, chief. This happened about 25 years ago, back in high school. I worked at a local chain pizza place. I used to love working Sundays because it was quiet. One Sunday afternoon, this guy comes in and says he has a special request. We got those a lot, so I said sure. He says, I want you to make me a large pizza for here with 4 toppings worth of pepperoni. I'm willing to pay for 4 topping pizza, so I want to make sure you understand I want 4 times the normal pepperoni. I thought it was a bit specific, but sure. I told him that it probably wouldn't cook properly and may up end soggy, but he said it would be fine. Okay then. I rang him up and went back to start making the pizza. We usually only had 2 people working the Sunday afternoons, so I did register, made the pizza, and ran the oven. The other guy took care of the bar and the dining room, unless I needed help. Anyway, so we used to have a little scale that we used to weigh toppings, and everything was pretty prescribed. I didn't always use the scale if the manager wasn't watching, but I wanted to make sure this guy got the pepperoni he paid for. Now, this pizza place was known for not skimping on toppings at all, so even the normal pepperoni pizza had lots of pepperoni on it. I couldn't see much cheese. I weigh out 4 times the normal weight in pepperoni and dump it on the pizza and start spreading it out. It's like 2 or 3 slices deep in most places, probably half an inch of pepperoni. I call the other guy, let's call him Kirk, over, and he's like, you know that thing isn't gonna cook, right? And I reply, this is what the guy paid for. So I put it in the oven and it takes forever to cook. Like ages. Nothing is working. Grease from the pepperoni is getting on the oven surface, but the crust is still mostly raw. After about 15 minutes, I noticed something. The center of the pizza is bulging. Now, our pizza is famous for bubbling because we use a really hot oven, but this was something else. Maybe half the pizza was now throbbing like it was alive, or an alien about to bust out of someone's chest. Over a couple minutes, it keeps growing and growing until it's like a bump of pepperoni, maybe 2 or 3 inches high. I call over to Kirk to come check it out. He is terrified by the pepperoni hill and says I need to pop it. We have a special poker for this purpose. I really don't want to do that, but the thing is heaving like a disgusting pimple on the face of a teenage demon. So I reach in with the poker and pop it. The horror! The pizza starts spewing grease into the oven from the hole I just made in it. Sure, the pimple started to deflate, but it was deflating by shooting out these horrible gets of grease. It seriously looked like a volcano erupting, and I almost gagged. Some even gets onto the roof of the oven. But the good news is that it finally started to cook. 10 minutes later, I pull it out. I have this two-handed pizza knife, and I'm used to this satisfying snap when I cut through our awesome cornmeal crust. But this time, no. Just a soggy whimper as it becomes clear this demon seed from the pepperoni alien has fully saturated the crust. The thing is vile. I call the guy up and he takes it to his table. He'd ordered to eat in. Kirk and I both watch him as he takes a bite. I hear a squishy sound from his table and he kind of winces. Like a river of grease runs down both sides of his mouth like a Gatorade bottle exploded in there and gets all over his shirt. It was kind of like a jelly donut pizza, but instead of delicious jelly, it is filled with cooling grease. I don't think he liked it at all, but he ordered it and thankfully had enough pride not to complain. I had to clean out the oven after that one. Years later, I was watching Ocean's 11 with my girlfriend and had a legit PTSD flashback. At the part of the movie where they're at that fountain, all I could see was this pizza grease eruption in my oven. It seriously was as gross as it sounded. I just had a pepperoni pizza yesterday and I can't imagine having more than just like a few pieces of pepperoni on a pizza. Oh, that just sounds disgusting to me. Hey everyone, I hope you all had a really good day and that you enjoyed that video. If you want to check out some other videos, then click on screen right now or check out the playlist down below. If you enjoyed that video, then please do leave a like on it and subscribe if you aren't already. And if you want to submit your own stories, then join the Discord in the link in the description. But thank you so much for watching and I will see you very soon.